Welcome back to the viewers. Today we are listening about the story Whuppity Stoorie by Moira Miller. Actually, this is a story of young readers. Once upon a time there was a poor woman, but she lived with her baby son in a little cottage at Kettle Rumpet. In a small garden around the cottage, she grew potatoes and turnips. They had nothing else to eat. But in a pigsty and the back of the cottage she kept a fat old pig. She hoped to sell him at the market. One morning when she went out the field to pack, she found him lying on his side. She pushed and poked, but she was too old and ill to get up. Oh, cried the poor man. The poor woman. I'm going to sell the pig to buy food and clothes for the winter. Who will buy a pig too old and ill to stand up? She sat down and pulled her apron over the head, crying and howling. She made a much noise that she did not see an old woman come toward her out of the trees. The woman was tall and thin. She wore a long green dress and a black cloak. On her head was a black hat, which made her look even taller. She marched up to the poor woman and pecked her. "Hoots, woman!" she shouted. "What is this? What is all this fuss? I could hear you over the other side of the hills. What's the meaning of it? What's the meaning of it?" The poor woman stopped crying and stared. "Who are you?" She sniffed. "I'll never seen you here before." "Nosy folks, some folks," snapped the tall old woman. "Ask no question, I'll tell you no lies. Now what is all this about?" The poor woman told her about the pig. "I was going to sell him to buy food, clothes for the winter, but who will buy a pig too old and ill to stand up?" She started to cry all over again. "We will see about that," said the tall fairy. She went into the pigstry and took a small bottle from her bag. She rubbed the pig's nose and the tip of his tail with oil from the bottle. At the same time, she whispered some words which the poor woman could not hear. Then the fairy spoke. The pig with the stick. "Get up, you silly old grumpy," she ordered, "and stop your nonsense this minute." The pig rolled on to his feet. He started to eat his food just as if nothing had been wrong. The poor man was delighted. "Oh, thank you," she said, clapped her hands. "What can I do for you, sir? I have no money, but my point of view, you could have some potatoes or turnips for the garden. If your fairy ship will just have, I will make a cup of tea for them and you. Actually, I have no need of potatoes or turnips like and vegetable or even a cup of tea. I need only one thing, name it," said the poor woman. "Only it's yours." "I want your son," said the fairy. "Oh no," howled the poor woman, "not my baby. My poor wee baby. Please take anything you like, but not my baby." But the fairy would not listen to her. You have 3 days to guess my name, she said. If you guessed wrong, the baby is mine. 3 days and you, mind you. She stamped her foot, waved her stick, and vanished. For the wall of the first day, the poor woman sat in the cottage, hugging her baby and crying. On the second day, she set to go out to gather more wood for the fire. She climbed the hill behind the house up into the trees. On and on she walked. At last, she found herself in a part of the forest where she had never been before. It was dark among the trees and very quiet. Here the birds did not sing as they did not around the cottage, but there was another sound. The poor woman stood still and listened. The poor woman, she could hear the hum of a spinning wheel and the voice singing as she through the trees as she crept through the trees toward the sounds. She suddenly saw a cave. Sitting at the mouth of the cave with a spinning wheel was the wicked fairy. She was spinning and singing to herself. These were the words that she was singing over and over again. Little knows that silly old dame. That Whooping Stoorie is my name. The poor woman laughed to himself. She crept back through the trees and ran down the hill as fast as she could go. Next morning, when the fairy came for the baby, she found the poor woman sitting by the cottage door. She was howling and crying louder than ever. "Hoots!" shouted the fairy. "What a noise!" "But it will do no good. I will have that baby." The poor woman howled even louder. "Take my pig," she cried. "Take all the potatoes and turnips. Take me. But leave my baby. Please, leave my baby. Leave him." "Take you," screeched the fairy. "What would I want with you? There would never be a minute's space again. With all your howling, I have come for the baby and I will have him." Then the poor woman jumped up and laughed. "Just a minute," she shouted. "You think I'm not good enough? You think I'm not fit to tie the shoelaces of the great lady Snooty?" Whoopee Story. As soon as the fairy heard her name, she screeched so loud that all the birds flew from the forest in fright. She jumped on her sticks and vanished in a great wind that tossed the trees as if they were grass. The poor woman laughed and hugged her baby. "I don't think I'll see her anymore," she said. And she was quite right. Whooping Story was never seen again either in Kidder or anywhere else. Did you like the story? Comment section. Thank you.